with us today. It's a wonderful day to come together to celebrate another wonderful 7 over 70 award event. This is our second Stellar 7 over 70 event. And we are tickled to finally be here after 9 long months of preparation and anticipation. And it all culminates in today, celebrating the achievements of these amazing individuals that we are going to be telling you more about today. So my name is Becky Lipscomb, and I am the sales director for the Village at Orchard Ridge, and it is my distinct honor and pleasure to be part of the planning committee that brings the Stellar 7 over 70 awards to you. And I am very thankful that we have the strong support and partnership of National Lutheran Communities and Services, our parent organization, and of the executive leadership of the Village at Orchard Ridge. They have been beside us and behind us every step of the way, being part of this important cause to make sure that we can take a stand against ageism and make sure that the world understands that older adults are out there every day doing amazing things, as you all are so fabulously demonstrating by all of the things that you do in the things that I see in our community and that we see all around us in the greater Winchester, Frederick, and Clark communities, and of course all across our great nation and world. There's a lot of silver power at work in our communities, and if you just open up your eyes and pay attention, you see who's doing the things that are tackling the thorny issues, the weighty problems. It's the folks who really know how to roll up their sleeves and get out there and get it done. And so it's about time we recognize those efforts and those achievements and those contributions. And so that's what we're all about with these awards and what this day is all about. So to get us off started right, though, I would like to first, there's Heather. I would like to invite Reverend Heather Bumstead. She is new with our Pastoral Care Division to come up and lead us in prayer. Thank you.
Rabindranath Tagore said, "I slept and dreamt that life was joy. I awoke and saw that life was service. I acted, and behold, service was joy." Let us pray. Gracious God, you are with us in every step, every turn, every hill and valley of our journey of life. We thank you, O Lord, for the gathering of years and wisdom and will. Most especially this day, we thank you for each of the persons here nominated and the ways that they have glorified you and shown your love in the service that they have given to their community. May they and we all be blessed in all our good works, in the joy of service. We ask that you bless the meal we are about to partake, the hands that prepared it, that we all might be strengthened in showing your love. We pray this in your name. Amen. Okay, can I hear an amen?
Amen. Now we have a special message that we are going to be sharing with you from our President and CEO, Cindy Walters of National Lutheran Communities and Services. And before we start that, I just want to say that Cindy has been one of our great supporters since we first conceived of these awards back in 2019. She was an avid supporter, and she said, absolutely, you go girl, develop that idea, get the team together, tell us what you want to do, and let's see how we can get behind it. And so we are eternally grateful to her and for that support. And I know that she had another competing commitment that prevented her from being with us physically today, but it was so important to her that she support today's celebrations that she took the time out of her busy schedule to prepare some remarks, and we are going to listen to those now. Thank you.
My name is Cindy Walters, President and CEO of National Lutheran Communities and Services, the parent organization of the Village at Orchard Ridge. I apologize I was not able to join you all in person today, but fortunately, the last year has proven how valuable technology is in connecting with one another. In 1969, as Neil Armstrong placed one foot on the moon, he famously declared, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Years later, in 1998, today's guest speaker, Dr. Joan Vernikos, served as a crucial member of the team that helped Armstrong's colleague and friend, John Glenn, return to space at the age of 77. When I think about the stellar 7/70 awards, I think about how the awards correlate as Orchard Ridge's small step to create a world where we celebrate aging and the incredible things that older adults do to make a difference in the world. While National Lutheran Communities and Services primarily offers housing and healthcare services, our team is deeply dedicated to countering ageism by showcasing the many ways we gain momentum as we age. As I read the profiles of each nominee, I'm not only inspired by each individual's journey, but also the creative ways each of you give back to the community. Every one of you have so much to be proud of. The work each of you do is selfless, and the Village at Orchard Ridge and National Lutheran Communities and Services is proud to recognize you. After the awards are given out and we return to our daily lives, I implore all of us to take inspiration from the people we are recognizing. We all must think about what we can do to counter ageism every day, asking ourselves, what will be my small step to better humankind? Thank you to our audience for taking the time to celebrate each nominee, and to the stellar 7/70 committee for making this day possible. Congratulations to each of the nominees, and on behalf of the entire National Lutheran family, thank you for all you do to help those around you.
Now I would like to invite our relatively new, where's Regina? There she is. We have another representative from our National Lutheran Communities and Services executive staff. Chief Operating Officer Regina Figueroa came down to be with us today from Rockville, and we really appreciate that. She was with us for our nominee event, and she's with us today. Again, I think that's an incredible show of support for this award program and for all that you are doing. And Regina, would you like to come up and share a few words? Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. As Becky stated, I'll reintroduce myself again. My name is Regina Figueroa. I am the Chief Operating Officer for National Lutheran Communities and Services, the parent company for Orchard Ridge. I am thrilled to be back again with you all as we celebrate now the award recipients. I was here previously to recognize and to hear about you as nominees. And as Cindy says, it was and still is very inspiring to hear what you have accomplished and to be with you today. Our organization is comprised of individuals inspired by the vision of working together to create thriving communities. And we are committed to that mission, the mission that NLCS honors, inspires, and supports choice and opportunity in partnership with our older adults. And at NLCS, we believe a thriving community is an environment in which everyone, regardless of our age, can experience a successful, holistic living. We all desire to be a part of a community in which we can enjoy intellectual growth as well. We look for physical health, psychological and spiritual well-being, physical health. We look for the meaning in life. We want valued activities and relationships, and a vocational connectivity to each other within our community. As Americans continue to live longer and healthier lives, it's imperative for all of us to think creatively about how we can make this vision a reality. At NLCS, internally, I feel we just made a bold statement and we have mandated the COVID-19 vaccine for all of our team members. This was one step forward where we together as an organization said this is how we are going to continue to keep our older adults healthy and as safe as possible. Now, externally at NLCS, partnering with organizations like the National Leading Age Association, the different state health facilities associations, we continue to learn and advocate for older adults, advancing policies and practices which help provide the necessary supports that we rely on every day to assist in the communities, because we know that we can't do it alone. So we do reach out to national organizations, state organizations, and affiliates to continue to get that resource and stay competitive and in the know of what's going on for you. Each of the nominees is a living proof that as we get older, we build momentum. We harness that power of our accumulated wisdom. And I like that, accumulated wisdom, right? What you all have gone through and what you have built up to this point is inspiring. And it really encourages myself and our executive team, Orchard Ridge, everybody to do the same, to strive to do the same. This is why NLCS is so proud to support the stellar 7/70 Awards, a program whose purpose is to celebrate, show our appreciation, and showcase your incredible achievements. On behalf of NLCS, I want to congratulate each nominee. I share in Cindy's and the rest of our team's gratitude for all that you do to create a thriving community. Again, you do inspire us, and we can only hope to do as much as you have accomplished in life. Thank you all.
Thank you, Regina. Now I would like to introduce to you John Loop, Executive Director of the Village at Orchard Ridge. John, the podium is yours, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Loop. I have the privilege to serve as the Executive Director at the Village at Orchard Ridge, and it's a privilege to be here with each of you today. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us, and again, I would like to thank all of our nominees for all that you do. Also, I would be remiss if I did not thank our stellar over 7/70 team for the hard work that you have done to make this event happen today. Thank you so much. We all are inspired by the daily examples of our residents and those nominees here today, who show that silver power can contribute and achieve when individuals have the opportunity to put their energy and expertise to work and to serve one another. Here are just a few examples. The Do Good Bus, where residents go out into the Winchester community to serve hospice thrift stores, the United Way, the Food Bank, and the CCAP. Leadership in our community governance at Orchard Ridge, serving on resident committees such as our Finance Committee, our Pastoral Care and Services Committee, as well as our Programs and Services, just to name a few. Also, residents stay abreast of technology by service to one another and use their expertise to educate fellow residents with email, computer literacy, in managing their smartphones. Residents are also enriching our world with their talents by writing novels and plays, running discussion groups, and staying attuned and engaged with world affairs and spending time with one another through service. Running a wood shop to repair furniture for each other. Also, to make artisan pieces that go to different sales within our community, support our benevolent care fund and various endowment funds. To facilitating groups and clubs that make clothes for children in need, for mats for homeless people here within the community, and to abide with the individuals that bring them comfort for the end of their lives. There are countless other ways that older adults around us demonstrate impact through their compassion and service, faith, and their innovation. Suffice it to say that each of you show up each and every day. You roll up your sleeves, you care deeply, and you serve one another. In honoring your achievements and contributions today, we hope to ensure a path to a continued and ever greater opportunities for service to one another. On behalf of our team at Orchard Ridge, and personally, I would like to thank each of you today. And to all of our nominees, your service is much appreciated within our communities. Thank you so very much. Take care.
We are so blessed that the heavens led us to Marta Hill Gray, and Marta Hill Gray led us to Dr. Joan, who is indeed a national treasure. Marta, would you come up and tell us about our guest speaker?
Well, I could talk for hours about Joan, but that would bore you because Joan is the one you want to hear from. But I'll quickly tell you that I met Joan's husband playing tennis. He was my tennis partner, and he was probably 78 or 9 at the time, and a bunch of us were playing doubles, and he was the ace of all the group. So now he is 90. He just turned 90. And he said, you know, you should meet my wife, Joan. And I thought, well, that's very lovely. Okay, I'll meet your wife, Joan. And Joan played tennis with a different group. And the more I learned about Joan, the more besotted I came about her, and found that every time I spent time with her, I learned something. And she made me more curious every time. How did she know? I asked her about the Apollo astronauts, and I remembered, I'm sure we all remember, that when the capsule landed, you didn't see anybody for a few days, and Joan said, well, of course not, they couldn't walk. I didn't know that. Her studies on gravity and all the work she did in NASA is tremendous. She has an extremely interesting background, coming originally from Egypt of Greek parents, and has a PhD from the London School of Medicine, and really guided a lot of our space program and our astronauts and made it possible for the things that we see today. So I will not bore you with my stories of Joan, other than to say that I work in a senior housing facility and as the executive director, and Joan came and enchanted all my residents. And the head of operations, I told him I was coming here today, and I said, I get to drive with Joan, I get to be in the car with her and ask her questions for 2 hours, and it's so exciting. And he said, well, of course you do, she's a national treasure. So that's where we get Joan being our national treasure. So without further ado, let me share my dear friend and my personal treasure, as well as she will now become your treasure, Dr. Joan Vernikos.
I don't know how I can top that. And now you're sufficiently curious to see this phenomenon. I hope you won't be too disappointed. After all, your tummies are full. You can hear me? Is that better? Mm-hmm. Yes. Anyway, thank you so much for inviting me to this very special event. It is a very special event. We are honoring here today a very select few who have achieved merely by breaking assumptions. So much of our lives as we move on are based on how others see us and the assumptions they make, and we have to live up to it. How useful and active we can be, and what we can do beyond our 70s is the question that hopefully is answered today. Now, 1958, if any of you were around then, when AARP was formed, they set the age for membership at 50. 50. That now seems ridiculously low. We must be doing something right. Ask anyone, whatever their age, what they consider their first sign of aging. Yes? Gray hair? A wrinkle or two?
Decaf after dinner.
Decaf after dinner? You don't need to do that. Talk to me later. The answer, if you really think hard, it invariably involves the ability to remain independent. I had a colleague who was an MIT graduate and eventually became the chief scientist at HUD and held many other positions. And he used to come into the office and say to me, I go up to Congress and I talk to them about you, and people either don't know you or they think you're great. Now, how can we change that? But anyway, his choice theme was, I want to be healthy till I drop dead. And I don't know about you, but I think that's probably the wisest words I think I ever heard. The answer, of course, invariably involves the ability to maintain independence. And how do we do that? Well, one time I was talking in Rappahannock, and at the end of the talk, a doctor who was standing in the back said, I know how you can tell when aging starts. I said, really? Well, he said, how you can get off the toilet. And he's absolutely correct. The very first sign that things are going down, or whatever, is how you get off the toilet. Yes, we want to be independent as long as we live. And getting off the toilet is the best way to get feedback that you're not aging. Now, as mobility is lost, so is independence. The less you do, the more help you need. Then, if we have a purpose, if it is just getting breakfast or giving someone a call or doing something, you move spontaneously. And every time we stand up to move, we shift blood up to the head so our brain works better. Think of that. When you stand up, what happens is blood goes to your feet, your heart pumps harder to get the blood up to the head, or you'll faint. You don't want to faint, but when it pumps blood up to the head, that is the mechanism of getting blood up to the head. Hanging your head over the side of the bed isn't going to do it. You actually have to provoke the system, stimulate the system, become aware. You talked about, realizing who you are and what you are. Become aware. Wake up. Self-awareness of what we do, how we feel, and what and when we eat and drink keeps us dynamic. So you're eating. Are you aware of what you're eating?
The wrong thing, cheesecake.
Already? Let me tell you a story. One day at NASA headquarters in 1997, I was called into the administrator's office. My initial reaction was, oh, I'm in trouble. Then I realized, when I got into the office, that he was pointing at the settee, and there was John Glenn. Joan, said my administrator, do you think we should let him fly again? Go think it over and come back with your answer. I had no doubt, but had to check with my medical colleagues at the National Institute of Health of what they thought of flying in space an older person of 77, even if it was John Glenn. The oldest person by that point in time had been 50. We could not find any medical reason to exclude John Glenn, especially since he was in such good health. His previous flight experience, orbiting Earth in 1962, would add valuable information. And so it was that he flew on the shuttle a few months later in November 1998. As we prepared for his flight, I found myself on the speaking circuit, mostly to facilities such as this, such as yours. And after many questions, at the end of each talk, I would be asked, where can I find more about the subject of space and aging? I was embarrassed. And you have to appreciate that as a scientist, I was used to talking to technical audiences, to scientific sessions. Didn't talk to people where I had to make myself understood. I had to explain things a couple of times before even I realized I could get it down several notches. And so it was very interesting. I was embarrassed that I couldn't point them to any source of information about what happens to the human body in space. There was information in medical textbooks, but not much. I thought maybe I could write a few notes to hand out in my talks. I eventually retired from NASA in 2020. That's 21 years ago. It really shakes me up because I don't really realize it's that many years. And instead of setting up a consulting practice like all my retiring colleagues are doing, I eventually turned my notes into a book. It took 4 years, but it became a book that was called The G Connection, Harness Gravity and Reverse Aging. This was my first book for lay audiences, and John Glenn wrote the foreword. That book was the first time the general public had the chance of becoming aware of what happens to the human body when living outside the Earth's gravity in space. More importantly, it led to our discovering how important using gravity every day is to our health. Just when I thought my contributing life was over, when I retired, I realized that there is no such thing as retiring. I don't know how you guys feel, but the word retiring will retire soon, because there is no such thing as retiring. I think it's absurd that people retire at 60 or 65 because they have so many more years of regular work, not volunteer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with volunteering, but not volunteering, but just their regular jobs and their ability to be productive and contributing. They should raise the age limit. It will help the younger people, who are fewer than us oldies, and be productive, pay more taxes from our income, and make the road for the younger people more achievable. So, congratulations on the recognition. The 7 today are receiving. You are a wonderful example to us all of dynamic aging. As Captain Kirk, who perhaps some of you watched last night on television, of Star Trek fame, you all remember Star Trek. Your younger people don't know Star Trek. But Captain Kirk just flew into space, had a chance to go into real space. May you all live and prosper. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Joan. Thank you again, Marta, for helping to bring Dr. Joan to us and for being with her today and being with us later this afternoon. I think that's a fascinating presentation and so much more we could learn if we only had another 8, 10, 20 hours to go. But thank you again. Now, we are at the time where we are approaching the finale of today's event. I am first going to ask the members of my team to come up and join me, please. We are going to present the gifts to our nominees. And nominees for the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Awards, as I call your names, I would like to ask you to please stand up so that we can all acknowledge you and acknowledge your achievements, and so that my team members can bring you our gift. So Ms. Rhoda Kriz, would you please stand up over there? And Ms. Rosalie Lewis, where's Rosalie? There she is back there. Ms. Nancy Mozeleski, where's Nancy? I saw Nancy, there she is, thank you very much. And Mr. Perry, Mike Perry, there he is back there. And Ms. Cheryl Reames, I saw Cheryl right here up front. And Ms. Karen Ship back there at that table. And Tricia Simpson, I saw Tricia, where did she go? There she is, right there. Oh, you're wearing purple. Tricia, you got the memo, thank you. And Mr. Raymond Steele, I was talking with him, there he is, thank you. So please enjoy this gift. It's a copy of Dr. Jones' book, and we have a little card for you. And everybody give our nominees a big round of applause. Our 2021 Stellar 7/70 nominees, in your program there is an abbreviated description of some of their achievements, and this is a snippet. There's no way we could capture in our program everything that they have done and that they are doing. So, but if reading that, if that makes you feel tired, it should, because these individuals are doing so much in the community, and we are so impressed and thankful for everything that they're doing. Now, it's the highlight of our program next. The announcement of the recipients of the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Awards. I am going to let Janie come up to the podium and present our first 3 awards. 2 awards, that's right, 2.
I have the great honor to do the first award of the day, and that is for creative engagement. Recognizing that individuals grow and gain strength through imagination, awardees will have engaged in creating, performing, teaching, mentoring, or promoting arts and the culture. They will have shown a commitment to enriching communities through creating exceptional art or by facilitating increased access to the arts. And the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Creative Engagement goes to Mrs. Rhoda Kriz. In Rhoda, one might say the fusion of leadership, creativity, a gift for teaching, a passion for service, and a commitment to promoting the creative arts in all their forms reach their highest human expression. Her work with the Flying Fingers Group, the Orchard Ridge Resident Tech Team, and in running the Artisans Fair and the Village Resale Shop positively impact countless individuals across the community. Congratulations, Rhoda. Creative engagement. Now for our second award, environmental awareness. Recognizing the importance of living a lifestyle that is respectful to our surroundings, respectful of our social environment, natural environment, and our built environment. Awardees will have maximized the dynamic relationship between the environment and its people, recognizing that we are responsible for the quality of the air, the water, and the earth that surrounds us and affects our health and well-being. And the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Environmental Awareness goes to Mrs. Nancy Mozeleski. Nancy's work in founding and leading the Plarners is a shining example of what can be accomplished when people seek creative solutions that serve both the environment and the needs of their community. Nancy leads the Plarners in bringing warmth and comfort to individuals in need. They bring purpose and meaningful engagement to the members of their group. And they bring a sustainable, repeatable solution for reducing the proliferation, you know what I mean, of plastic bags that pollute the environment. Environmental awareness to Nancy Mozeleski.
Lauren Gwynn, would you please step up?
Hello, everyone. I do have to say that I strive to be just like all of you after I retire, which is probably, after Joan said, maybe 50 years down the road. Fitness and health. Recognizing the uniqueness and diversity of individuals relative to each person's abilities and disabilities, awardees will have focused on the importance of regular exercise, physical activity, and good nutrition to optimize wellness. Their commitment to enhanced individual health, community, well-being, or quality of life has led themselves or others to improved self-esteem, self-control, determination, and sense of direction. Okay. And the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Fitness and Health goes to Mr. Mike Perry. Mike's passion and dedication to fitness have enabled him to stay healthy and active well into his 80s, making him a legend and inspiration for fellow cyclists in the Winchester Wheelman Bicycling Club. More importantly, Mike's robust health enables him to remain active in his retirement through vital community work, such as collecting and repairing bicycles for individuals who need transportation to work, and of finding, cutting, and delivering firewood to struggling families who need heat through the long, cold winters. Thank you, Mike. Congratulations. Intellectual growth. Recognizing that learning challenges the mind to acquire new skills, gain new knowledge, and remain curious, awardees will have expanded their personal knowledge and skills or discovered opportunities for others to engage in creative and stimulating mental activities that positively influence memory, emotions, language, or motor skills. They will treat learning itself as a valued part of life, and through it find ways to continuously recreate themselves through personal and/or professional growth. And the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Intellectual Growth goes to Mrs. Cheryl Reames.
Cheryl's ongoing education and leadership to expand Parkinson's disease awareness and outreach through the local region provides vital support to individuals and families facing this devastating disease. In addition to founding 2 Parkinson's support groups in the local community, Cheryl's leadership assures that the steady flow of knowledge and the availability of resources that enhance the quality of life for individuals with Parkinson's disease and those who walk that journey with them. Thank you, Ms. Cheryl.
Melissa Rutz, would you please step up?
Afternoon. Social and community involvement. Recognizing that we are all social creatures and need connections and interactions with other human beings, awardees will have increased their social circle by cultivating meaningful, creative, safe, and inclusive relationships with people of different ages, backgrounds, races, or lifestyles. They will be leaders in creating social, cultural, and economic value in communities in ways that drastically shift public discourse, perceptions, and realities. The 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Social and Community Involvement goes to Mrs. Tricia Simpson. Tricia's deep roots in the community and ongoing work with the Sinclair Health Clinic Board of Directors, the Social Services Advisory Board, the Evans Home, Winchester Rotary, and so many other nonprofit organizations and initiatives bring critical resources such as food, healthcare, shelter, and support services to those in greatest need across our local area. She defies the meaning of retirement and leverages her relationships, talents, and energies to benefit others in the community. Congratulations, Tricia. Spiritual expression. Recognizing that our values, beliefs, and religious faith influence our sense of meaning and purpose in life, awardees will have explored a prayerful or mindful approach to each day by developing an interconnectedness and harmony between oneself and God or the universe, participating in activities that express gratitude, self-reflection, and compassion towards others. The 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Spiritual Expression goes to Miss Rosalie Lewis. Rosalie's life continues to be a continuous and inspiring expression of faith, purpose, and compassion towards others. Her work throughout the pandemic as a parish nurse is credited for lighting parishioners' way through changing COVID safety protocols and for providing vital vaccination education and outreach. Her volunteerism outside her church also enhances lives, such as the individuals served by the Adult Day Care Center and of newborn infants fighting for survival at Winchester Medical Center's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Congratulations, Rosalie. And today's last award, Vocational Connectivity. Recognizing the essential importance of personal enjoyment and satisfaction in the work that we do, awardees will have engaged in civic engagement projects or volunteer work, contributing their skills, talents, and support for the good of others. Their service to individuals or groups, family, friends, or neighbors demonstrates a deep, tireless, and quiet commitment, enhancing the quality of life in their communities. And the 2021 Stellar 7/70 Award for Vocational Connectivity goes to Mrs. Karen Shipp. Karen's decades-long career as a social worker provides a robust foundation in retirement for her ongoing volunteerism and tireless leadership in significant civic activities to enhance life across the community. Whether it's promoting social interaction as a committee chair for the Winchester Royals, or supporting access and transportation to vital healthcare services as a board member for Wheels for Wellness, formerly Faith in Action, Karen works daily to connect individuals with resources that meet their needs. Congratulations, Karen.
I have to say that our highest goal in establishing the Stellar 7/70 Awards, as I mentioned before, has been to highlight the significant achievements of older adults, and in so doing to demonstrate that impact truly is ageless. The stories and achievements of all the individuals selected for this year's awards certainly demonstrate what is possible when individuals enjoy opportunities to pursue their passions and goals rather than being constrained by false limitations. I lost my place. By false limitations arising from their age. So too do the achievements of stellar individuals who were nominated for the sake of their good works and tireless contributions to benefit others across the community. Such is the case with Mr. Raymond Steele of Middletown. Ray, as you may know, the village at Orchard Ridge has a very vibrant and dynamic resident population. We have over 420 people on our independent living campus, and over 21% of those independent living residents are retired veterans. And I have to tell you, sir, that they were very, very moved by your record of service, especially with your efforts to create the Veterans Memorial in Middletown, and all that you have done to ensure that there are always veteran services and with the flags to honor veterans' service and sacrifice. So they have asked me to do something. And so I have with me, they have prepared a photo of our Orchard Ridge Honor Flight participants. And they wanted me to share this with you, to give it to you. And they have a letter signed by many of our veteran residents. We couldn't get all 90, I think it's 95 of them down to the concierge desk to sign the letter. So a good number of them couldn't wait to get down there and sign it on behalf of the entire veteran resident body. But they asked me to share this letter with you, and I will read it and I will give this to you. Dear Mr. Steele, the village at Orchard Ridge is a thriving community where individuals live in fellowship and service to one another. Our dynamic resident population comprises retired veterans from all branches of the armed forces, men and women who serve their country with honor and distinction. On behalf of Orchard Ridge's entire veteran population, we commend you for your dedication and ongoing community work to keep the service, sacrifice, and memory of veterans alive. Sincerely, the veterans of the village at Orchard Ridge. And we have wet signatures here, along with their branch of service. And they hope that you will accept their thanks and tribute for all that you do. It means a great deal to the men and women of our community, and I'm sure so many across the community. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our formal program today. I hope you've enjoyed yourself.